Are we going to continue with this experiment, or are we just going to get rid of it? Welcome back to Deer Valley Homestead with me, Andy. This week we are going to look at our squeaky gate. No. We are going to take another look at our rabbit colony. It is exactly 2 weeks since we started it. Some things are going well, some things are not going well. As you know, we have a lot of rabbits, not just the rabbits in the colony. We have 5 rabbit tractors, and we have our rabbit hutch as well. Morning, rabbits. I absolutely love our rabbit tractors. For me, they just work. They're simple, and the rabbits get to move onto fresh grass every day. Good morning. Okay, they could probably eat more than the 2 square meters, but they still get that quality food daily. And while this footage is sped up, it really does only take a couple of minutes to look after them each morning. That is our rabbit tractor sorted out for the morning. I have them without any kind of mesh on the bottom, so I do have to be pretty careful where I put them. And I just have to check there's no holes underneath. If there's a hole underneath, they will find it, they will use it. If there's not one, then 99% of the time they're absolutely fine and they don't try and escape. Rabbit hutch is actually sorted out already. Good morning. They all have their fresh water and their food. No, you're staying locked up for an hour or two, guys. Let's have a look, it's very early. Maybe there's an egg or two. No, nothing. The ducks were very shy this morning. I think it's the camera that they don't like. Anyway, let's have a look at our rabbit colony. Got some food and some water for them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have to check because they've worked out how to escape. And I will show you how they are doing that shortly. But as you can see, there is absolutely nothing green left in here, apart from a couple of stingy nettles. And it took them 2 days to turn it like this. You remember how luscious and green it was? It took them 2 days to absolutely destroy it. Top up the water. You guys all look hungry this morning. And you have plenty of food in there. One of the hardest things with this lot is trying to get in here without them all escaping. Hey! Hey, everybody back inside. Back inside. Come on. Yeah, inside, inside, inside. Ah, you're in the food already. This is what it's like. I'm penned in by the rabbit chaos. Ah! I can't even walk. I suppose the first thing to do is give them breakfast. We'll see. Normally they try to eat the camera. Hey, leave my camera alone. Probably a few more than they should have, but that'll be fine. Alright, well, I guess we should start with some things that I like about the rabbit colony. That's a hard place to start. The first thing I like is how much food they had when they first moved in. They ate everything in this whole area, which is amazing. They all jumped in size with the amount of extra food they had. So that's a win. Love a bit of free food. However, that only lasted 2 days. Within 2 days, we were down to the mud, and now I am back to feeding them straw and pellets. So I feel like food-wise, they were better off in the rabbit tractors. In there, I move them along every day, twice a day sometimes, and they have fresh grass all of the time. In here, pellets and hay, and they waste a lot of the hay, which is fine, covers up the mud. Other things that I like, when they moved in, they were so excited to have so much space. They were running around, they pretty much all got the zoomies. They were in and out of every different structure, every plant, everything needed to be sniffed, tasted, and checked out. And that was really cool to see. It was nice to see them that way. That is about the end of the list of the things that I like about it. Some things that I don't like about having this as a rabbit colony. The ground is already mud, and we haven't had really any rain in the last 2 weeks. Had a couple of little sprinkles, but that's about it. This place is just going to turn into a muddy nightmare. So okay, I could put a roof over the top, but then I'm just going to end up with a dirt ground. So that's not very nice. I could put a concrete floor for them, but then they're living on concrete. That kind of defeats the whole point of my ethos of trying to get them on the grass and trying to get them into nature as much as possible. So that really doesn't work for me. And what that really leaves me with is, I think they're better off in the rabbit tractors. Okay, they do have a bit less space, but they're on fresh ground every day. And there's a lot less chance of all the poop building up. They haven't really chosen a toilet area, or if they have, they've chosen from the gate all the way to the other end. My rabbits have never really had a problem with parasites, but equally, if I leave them in here and let the poop build up, that's exactly what's going to happen. And being that it's a mud floor, where are you going? And being that it's a mud floor, it's not that easy to clean up. The next thing I don't like is pretty much the same subject. All of this poop is great manure. Normally, I collect it all, and it's true to say that with the rabbit tractor I also can't do that. But it does drive me a little bit crazy to see so much of it building up in here. It's not doing anything good for the garden, it's just here. And what do I do with that now? These guys have worked out how to get behind the chicken wire, and I think in places they've actually pulled the chicken wire apart. In fact, there's a good one that you can see here. There's a massive hole in the chicken wire. They get between the chicken wire and the mesh, and then they run along, make another hole, run along, make another hole. And in a couple of places, they've managed to stretch this fence enough that they can get out through it. So I've got 2 or 3 places like that. And in fact, this one here, is the guilty one. Other 6 aren't too worried about it. I think only one of the black ones has escaped this one. But this lady, every couple of hours, she finds a new place to go out. What I'm coming down to is that I've lost the benefit of being able to move them to fresh grass every day. I'm having to feed them more because there's not as much natural food in here. I do wonder if there's a way to maybe have a covered colony, maybe a little bit smaller than this, where we do have that dirt floor and it's protected underneath and all the way around and roof over the top. And then maybe we could let them out during the day somehow into a paddock or something like that. But rabbit-proof paddocks, that's not the easiest thing to just come up with. We do it with the fence panels, with the larger rabbits. It doesn't work with these guys because they can just squeeze through the fence. At the end of it, what it comes down to, I love the idea of having a colony. It's just not working practically. It needs some refining. Could I build a rabbit colony on wheels? That's my camera, sweetie. And then wheel them along each day and set them out a perimeter fence. That might work. I don't even think I'd have to move it every day, maybe every 3 or 4 days. So yeah, that's my summary on the rabbit colony. It's not a failure, it's not a success, but it's not something at the moment that I think I'm going to repeat. Once these guys get big enough and they head off to freezer camp, I don't think I'll put any more rabbits in here. I did put them a bunch of hay in here, thinking maybe they would sleep here. No, not interested in that. I also thought they might hide under the rain cover, but no, they don't seem interested in that. In fact, if anything, that's an area they avoid a little bit. And then in the chicken tractor, again, they went in and out to see if there was any food in there, but apart from that, they've not really been interested in it. And the rabbit houses, again, they've been in them to check them out, but they're not really interested in staying in there. When I come out to check on them at night time, they're all just sat around in the middle somewhere. They haven't been interested in any of the shelters. Of course, it hasn't really rained, so maybe that's why. Alright, look cute guys, look cute. This is what I'm talking about how quickly the ground recovers. So this strip down here, it's actually slightly darker and the grass is slightly longer, is where they were 6 weeks ago. And 2 weeks ago, when we moved them into the colony, this is where they were. And you can see, it's not quite recovered, but it is autumn, so the grass is growing slowly. And you can see the step each day. It's just a little bit more recovered, a little bit more recovered. And then you sort of, I mean, you can still see the leftover hay and stuff like that, but the grass is back and you don't see too much difference. Morning pheasants, how are you today? Do you need anything? Fresh food? Oh, we need some fresh food. And how's our... Okay, plenty of water. When I built this aviary, I did it with the mind that I may put rabbits in it one day. So I covered the floor with welded wire mesh so that it was completely sealed to any predators. However, having seen how quickly they destroyed the floor on the other side, and that probably has double the floor area of this, I don't imagine I will ever put rabbits in here. Maybe if it got overgrown and I needed to cut it down and didn't want to use any power tools, then maybe release the rabbits for 2 days and get it destroyed and down, but I just don't see it. Alright team, as always, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, do all of those things that help me out, and I will catch you all next week. Just remember to come home to lay your eggs, okay?